But first, you might need to catch Dr. Banner.
News or footage, keyword Hulk.
Just goes to show you, just because you lose control and accidentally destroy an entire city doesn't mean you can't settle down one day.
I'm always angry.
You'd think one gamma radiation accident would be enough to turn people off of continuing to try. But no, it seems the Hulk family has expanded far and wide in the Marvel Universe. Even the MCU is just willy-nilly creating new Hulks and Abominations with little regard towards safe science. However, I don't care about any of that.
We're good.
Because it's freaking awesome. The Hulk has several people close to him develop similar powers in the pages of the comic book. Some of his children are incredibly strong, and just wait until you hear about his girlfriend. Let's take a look at the Hulk family and figure out just who is the strongest among them right now.
So I'm clearly nailing it at all of these things. When am I ever going to use this as a lawyer?
It's true that he's been often imitated and basically duplicated, but I still don't think there has ever been a member of the Hulk family that could quite match up to the feats achieved by the original Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner. In the MCU alone, Bruce has leveled cities, been a champion gladiator, and has taken on and sometimes defeated creatures so powerful such as Fenris, Thor, and even Surtur.
Big monster!
The might of the Incredible Hulk in the comics, however, just simply cannot be matched. There are definitely times when the Hulk is not at his strongest, but when he is, there's very few who would dare even go up against him. The most significant example of this is during the World War Hulk storyline, when the Incredible Hulk became the Worldbreaker Hulk, capable of destroying planets with a single punch. He waged war on some of the most powerful heroes in Marvel Comics, and took them all down. A full blast from Black Bolt and Doctor Strange backed by the power of a demon were no match for this angry of a Hulk. There have been other times as well when the Hulk seems to overpower everyone, such as in Old Man Logan when he was the head of a Hulk family crime syndicate. Though to be fair, that one didn't end as well. There may be times where other Hulk beings defeat him, but the truth of the matter is that Hulk is one of the only characters whose power can infinitely increase alongside his level of anger. This simply means that the more and more you piss him off, the stronger he will become. It's for this reason that shooting him off planet or killing his family are still just baffling choices to me. It seems as though even if you're remotely close to the Hulk and don't already have superpowers, you should probably expect to see a change in skin tone and muscle mass sooner rather than later. Betty Ross is Bruce's most well-known love interest. Betty is a fellow scientist who in many stories has a personal hand in accidentally transforming Bruce into a hulking green monster. Betty has probably gone through more transformations of her angry identity than any other character in the Hulk family. First, MODOK transformed her into a being called the Harpy, capable of doing battle with the Hulk. She could fire beams from her hands, fly, and use her incredibly sharp talons to even pierce the Hulk's skin. Eventually, Betty would perish, but later appear resurrected as a version of the Red She-Hulk, recruited by her father. This version of Betty turned out to be kind of a psychopath, and tried to kill her fellow heroes, even stabbing her father and kicking him off the top of a building. This version was believed to have died as well, until it was revealed that gamma-irradiated cells had the power of coming back to life, essentially making Hulks immortal. After resurrecting again, the Red She-Hulk mutated back to her Harpy identity, only this time as a crazed red version. Betty Ross has clearly been through a whirlwind of emotion, but she comes out of it as one of the most powerful members of the Hulk family. Betty's father, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, is one of the more known versions of the Hulk in Marvel Comics. Essentially Bruce's father-in-law, and often the man behind hunting the Hulk down, Thunderbolt Ross is a military general who in his attempts to capture the Hulk turned himself into one. The Red Hulk is an extremely powerful being whose strength at times can supersede that of the original. He has accomplished incredible feats with his levels of strength, such as easily killing Emil Blonsky, the Abomination, and even defeating an Odin Force-empowered Thor in battle. He also has the unique power of energy absorption and redistribution, and while it is mostly gamma, he has accomplished the incredible feat of taking the Silver Surfer's power cosmic for himself. General Ross has been the leader of a superpowered anti-hero team called the Thunderbolts, of which we are just so happen to be getting a movie in the same name in the upcoming MCU phases. General Ross is a very powerful adversary and sometimes ally to Bruce Banner, but his sheer strength, size, and the fact that he retains his mustache when he becomes a giant red hulking creature likely strikes fear into anyone who dares go up against him. When we rank levels of intelligence in the Marvel Universe, Bruce Banner is definitely up there in the conversation. However, he does not even compare to the brilliant Amadeus Cho. He was deemed one of the smartest people in the universe at the young age of 15, and was considered a serious threat worthy of being hunted by the government long before he ever turned green. Amadeus Cho helped defeat gods and demons who wield chaos magic all with his mind and his ability to find intelligent solutions and predict these powerful beings' next move. Then, of course, as if that wasn't enough, he went and joined the Hulk family as the hero Brawn. Amadeus used special nanites to absorb some power from the original Incredible Hulk Bruce Banner. He maintained control of his intelligence while turning into a muscly green behemoth. If you thought Smart Hulk was Bruce, then I don't think you're even ready for what this overpowered kid genius has to offer. He maintained full control of his ability to transform and keep a grip on his Hulk persona. Obviously, his strength is immense, but doesn't quite match the levels of some over-gamma irradiated members of the Hulk family. But that doesn't matter. This kid's mind is where his true power comes from. As most people know by now, Jennifer Walters is the immortal She-Hulk, and while she may not have attained the levels of power of some of her Hulk friends and family, she's still not someone you would want to mess with. In the MCU, a car accident followed by some gamma-irradiated blood contamination turned her into the new hero. But in the comics, a mob hit forced her cousin Bruce to perform an emergency blood transfusion to save Jennifer's life. But the result was still the same. Jennifer Walters is an extremely powerful Hulk, and her cunning and ability to control her enraged state has helped her defeat even some Hulks who could overpower her. Overall, one of her greatest powers is her knowledge of the legal system. She is one of the only heroes who, instead of wanting to be a hero, would have just rather kept her day job. So she decided to do both. She's able to stop criminals on the street and then throw the book at them in the courtroom. Overall, she's shown incredible feats of strength and is one of the most consistently heroic Hulks ever to turn green. Rick Jones is a very powerful hero in his own right, who was adopted into the Hulk family, certainly against his own free will. Rick is an incredible gymnast in hand-to-hand combat, who at times in the comics has gained incredible powers, such as the Destiny Force and a full cosmic awareness. However, one notable time in Rick's history was when he was transformed into the gamma-mutated creature known as A-Bomb. Another hero mutated by MODOK, Rick Jones witnessed the Red Hulk kill Abomination, and was transformed into a blue monster who greatly resembled the late Hulk foe. As A-Bomb, Rick has certain powers not seen in other gamma mutates. First of all, for some unknown reason, A-Bomb can fly. Not sure how, no wings, not even a cape. He can also track other gamma mutates with some sort of sixth sense. And finally, he can release gamma energy at incredible levels, enough to melt steel. Overall, this was a short chapter in Rick Jones' life, but in it, he was able to go toe-to-toe with some of the strongest members of the Hulk family, and likely made them all jealous that they couldn't fly too. Brian Banner was an abusive, terrible father whose parenting skills are enough to mess up a kid for good, as evident by his split personality son Bruce, whose alter ego is responsible for some of the greatest destruction the world has ever seen. Brian Banner was conducting gamma radiation research long before his son Bruce ever touched a microscope. His research led him to discovering a Marvel being known as the One Below All, which led to a wild time for one Dr. Brian Banner. Brian eventually died and joined the Below Place, home to the One Below All, before being resurrected during the Chaos War as a version of the Devil Hulk and the Guilt Hulk, both incredibly powerful beings. However, he would eventually return to the Below Place and became the right-hand puppet of the One Below All. From this realm, Brian, thanks to the possession of this horrible creature, gained the power to possess gamma mutates in the living realm above. This power gave him the ability to control characters like Sasquatch and Jailbait, and in many ways gave him more power than other Hulks could even imagine. Lyra is the daughter of Bruce Banner and the dimension-hopping warrior Thundra. She was born with the green skin and the strength of the Hulk, and was even tutored by the original She-Hulk Jennifer Walters to become the new She-Hulk. Lyra is incredibly strong and a great leader, but she has a weakness that she must keep a secret, as it differentiates her from just about every other member of the Hulk family. Lyra needs to control her anger, but this is because unlike the Incredible Hulk, who gets infinitely stronger alongside his increased levels of anger, Lyra actually grows weaker the angrier she gets. This necessitates that she have a level head and therefore makes a brilliant leader for the United Sisterhood, but definitely makes her weaker than other Hulks and significantly more vulnerable. Thundra is a mighty warrior born in an alternate timeline, who eventually made her way to Earth 616. She proved to have incredible strength on the levels of certain gamma-irradiated mutates, and could even tangle with the strongest of Hulks. She has been an ally and an enemy of beings such as the Red Hulk, She-Hulk, and even the Incredible Hulk Bruce Banner. While she can hold her own in a battle with all of these mighty creatures, she does not quite measure up in terms of strength. However, battling with some of the strongest members of the Marvel Universe was not her only relationship to them. Thundra even wound up having a child named Lyra with the original Hulk Bruce Banner. Her daughter and the other Hulks are definitely stronger than Thundra, but she can lift over 60 tons and she might not be able to beat them. But when she punches the Hulk, trust me when I say it hurts. Skaar, the brother of Mufasa and traitor to Pride Rock, who killed his only brother... What? Oh. Skaar is the son of the Hulk, Born from a cocoon dropped in a lake of fire, he became a ruler on the planet of Skaar, who was warned by the Silver Surfer that Galactus had marked his planet for consumption. In order to save his planet, Skaar obtained something called the Old Power, which gave him control over the stone and lava of the planet, making him essentially a very powerful Earthbender as well as a very powerful Hulk. Skaar and Banner would eventually team up, and Skaar would become somewhat of a hero on the planet Earth. He has been a member of the Dark Avengers led by Norman Osborn. Overall, Skaar has all the powers of the Hulk from the moment of his birth, meaning he is a master of them. When combined with mystical powers from Skaar, Sky is no joke. Skaar was only one of Bruce's children that he had during his time on Skaar. The other went by the name of Hiro-Kala, and it was the supposed death of these two that sent Bruce on his World War Hulk revenge tour. After his mother saved his life before perishing herself, Hiro-Kala spent a great deal of time just stacking up powers. He has gained the Power Cosmic, the New Power, and even the abilities of Captain Universe. Hiro-Kala can produce force fields, read minds, fly, and bestow the new power onto others. Overall, as estranged from his father he may be, Hiro-Kala spent his life collecting powers like they were baseball cards, in an effort to protect the people of Skaar and probably secretly be more like his dad. Doc Samson is a hero who actually owes thanks to the Hulk for his powers. They come from excess gamma radiation that was siphoned from Bruce Banner directly. While there is no physical change, Doc Samson has superhuman strength and agility, but unfortunately it is nowhere near the levels of the power source. Samson spends much of his time trying to cure the Hulk, but naturally when tangling with gamma radiation, things tend not to go to plan. Doc Samson is a hero, but often a romantic rival to Bruce, and therefore it's safe to say the two clash quite a bit. Doc Samson is strong enough to survive these encounters, but will likely never be strong enough to win. Overall, the good doctor should be blessed as the physical transformation his powers come from do not turn him into a monster like many other Hulks, but instead just a very chiseled man with the ability to knock down buildings with his fist if he really wanted to. Who would have thought a whole family of Hulks would one day be something the public has to be aware of? Of all the superpowered gamma mutated beings in the universe, which one do you think holds the greatest power?